What's going on, everybody? This is Ryan A. Polk, and welcome to the wrap up. And I know it has been a few weeks since I have done a review. Had a lot of things going on, but everything is good. I'm here, I'm back, and I'm ready to get reviews going. And even though this movie came out in October, I'm still gonna review it anyway because I just want to, and also just in case if people haven't seen this movie yet. So this one I'm going to do a review on The Witches, which is a remake of the 1990 movie The Witches, and this is directed by the legendary Robert Zemeckis, and it stars Anne Hathaway and Octavia Spencer. And out of all the Rob Zemeckis movies I've seen, this is definitely my least favorite one, because I've mentioned in my reviews I don't like reboots, and it's true because most of them are not good. And this is definitely one of them reboots that's not good, because although I'm not a spoiler, because that's not what I do. Mentioned that plenty of times. But the only thing I'd say that really did save this movie was some of the changes they made within the story. And this movie also, when it came to the special effects, it was just too much CGI. I know you're trying to make the special effects real and everything, but these movies, they need to turn down a notch with the CGI. Like, you could just tell, like, when you look at the mice, and then like when the boy turns into a mouse, that this thing looks something like I would see on a video game, literally. But Anne Hathaway, she plays the Grand High Witch in this movie. Got Octavia Spencer, she plays the boy's grandma in this movie. And as in the original, you got the grandma and the boy. They're out of town, and and then the boy gets turned into a mouse. But in this movie, it tells a little bit more of the backstory of the boy. How he ended up with his grandma, and also a little bit of the backstory with of the witches too. But I'm not going to really get into too detail of that because, again, not a spoiler. But this movie it got released on HBO Max, and I'm happy it did. I believe it was supposed to be released in theaters, but wasn't because of COVID. And I am so happy that a movie like this didn't get released in theaters. If I would have saw this in theaters, I would probably want my money back, because this movie is definitely not a movie theater movie. I'm just gonna put it like that. It definitely needs to be an HBO movie or a Netflix movie, somewhere around that. I think the choices of the actors were good. Even though you got a lot of new faces in this movie, such as the boy, who now that I think about it, when watching it, his name, I don't think he even had a name in the movie, because I did not hear the name Luke at all in the movie. Even in the trailer, she was like calling him boy, and I'm like, okay, wow, okay. So at least they're not trying to go, at least they're not trying to do everything piece by piece with the original. But I definitely enjoyed the original one way more than this, and even the special effects of the witches. That stuff looks CGI, and it's just, yeah. Even though I like special effects, these CGI special effects is definitely did not cut it out for this movie. But if you have HBO Max, then I do think is it worth watching on HBO Max, or is it worth being in a rush to go see it, to watch on HBO Max? If you haven't seen it, I would say definitely don't be in no rush to see it, because it's not all that. If you've seen the original one, I do think you will like the original way better than this. And I was just, I was disappointed with Rob Zemeckis on this one, because he's such a great director, and this one, yeah, definitely on the bad list of movies for 2020. So, don't be in no rush to see it. Feel free to watch this movie when you got some spare time or you're not doing nothing. And for The Witches grade, I give The Witches a C, and out of 5 stars, I give it I gave it 2 out of 5 stars, and that's only because of the acting. The acting was good, but and because of like the twist with the storyline, the couple of twists in the storyline with the characters. But other than that, yeah, it still had me still left me with some question marks though as well. And also I forgot to mention, so the 2 kids in the movie, the one who plays Bruno, and the one who plays the kid who plays the grandson who gets turned into a mouse. So you see in the trailer. I mean, these guys. Well, Bruno got turned into a mouse too as well, but it showed the boy being turned into a mouse. But those kids, they did a good job acting, and if they do decide to do acting, I really hope that they do get more offers because they are definitely talented. So, with that being said, this is Ryan A. Polk with the wrap up, and until then, I will see y'all later.